Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I know we didn't get up one on Saturday, but we're gonna do it today. This is Mike. I'm here with Hollister, Menelik, and Tyrone. We're gonna give you a nice, short, and sweet one, possibly today, because a lot of us got things to do this evening. But yes, the Lakers won the bubble championship, and they are NBA champions. And but most of us expected that to happen. And LeBron said he want his damn respect. What do you guys feel about that, Hollister?
First of all, let me congratulate the Lakers on winning the championship. Also, give a big shout out to the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler, and those guys, Bam
Yeah,
Adebayo. They did an incredible job. Someone noticed people need to give them some respect as well.
yeah.
But the whole LeBron saying he need his damn respect, I don't know what he's referring to or who he's referring to in particular because people give him respect.
Oh, I know who he's talking about.
Who?
Skip Bayless.
Oh, yeah, they two always be going
Okay.
back and forth. So now that you said it, all right. So I didn't hear what Skip Bayless said, but I can only
No, but just
imagine.
go on because he could be talking about everybody else.
True.
Mhm.
But
Nah,
yeah,
state your opinion. Don't worry about the Skip Bayless thing.
I mean, when he said that, I was just like, I don't understand what he means or who he's referring to. But people give him his respect. He's, I hate to say, but he's one of the best ever. He's not the best ever, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer when he retires.
Yeah.
He got with 4 titles, 4 Finals MVPs. We all know his accolades. He's doing his thing, but
He's 17 doing his thing, yeah.
yeah, he's 17. He's
I don't
35.
care.
It's just like,
No, 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 no. It's a purpose of other stuff I'm saying when it comes to my turn. Trust me. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, but I'm just like, all right, what more do you want? Like, you want people to bow
Mhm.
down and like, come on, like, you won your
Yeah.
fourth title, like, just keep it moving, like, keep going, see what happens next. But that probably be his last one because when everybody else started coming back healthy in that Western Conference, and he got to worry about Brooklyn as well too.
So BK, I was just telling Aubrey that yesterday, man. Aubrey's a coworker of mine.
It's the Warriors. It's the Warriors they got to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they
All right.
get past him, they got to worry about Brooklyn in the final.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna go to Tyrone real quick, and then we go to Menelik because I know you got to get your stuff together, Tyrone. So I'll let you rock, and then I'll
No,
get.
no, no. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
so then
good.
Menelik.
But yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, yeah. So, like Hollister said, congrats to the Lakers on winning the chip. I mean, I I am happy that they won with the Kobe tie. And once again, I know all players had some level of dedication to Kobe in some regard, but I mean,
Yeah,
for the NBA and for the story of it all, and with his
Mm-hmm.
past and everything like that, I think is kind of a nice kind of, I guess, cap on the whole season. But
yeah,
as far as LeBron with the respect thing, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna approach it from like that general sense. Like he does get a lot of respect. I mean, I know for what he feels like he's done, and he wants to pretty much be considered the GOAT. So
yeah,
that's probably where it's mostly stemming from, where he just want people to put him at the table and to give him a legit shot to
yeah,
even entertain the idea. Because for a lot of people, it's a never, and I understand why. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
once again, like Hollister was saying, no discredit to him. We know his accolades. We know what he's done. He's won 4 championships. He's made it to the finals a bunch of times, which is an accomplishment on some level as well. I do understand that, but he
yeah.
also has, lost a fair amount of times in the finals.
6.
Take time.
And then I don't know, like, people talk about, oh, you know, what he's doing. Oh, he's this and he's that. And once again, I like LeBron. He's one of the greatest of all time, unquestionably. But it's more of people look at it from his career and numbers and stuff like that. He started one out of high school. He never retired. He's playing. He Jordan did more with less time. I'm not gonna get too much to talk
Thank
about
you.
Jordan. I'll
Yeah,
keep the
Thank you.
focus on LeBron stuff, but I know we'll get into other stuff later. But Jordan did a lot with way less time, and
Amen.
for them to
Preach.
even be where they have some similar records or things that he now passing Jordan on and things like that, when Jordan played so many less years, especially prime years.
Retired twice.
Jesus,
Yeah.
man, Menelik, you're just saving me 5 minutes of time. Thank, preach, brother. Just preach it. Keep going, man. Keep
Yeah,
going.
I was gonna say some
Keep
sort of
going,
quick,
All
man.
man.
right,
You know,
man.
I'm just
Nah,
take your
sitting
but you
here.
time,
know,
man.
I'm
Take your
just
time.
sitting here
Man.
smiling. Keep talking.
but yeah, man, like when you look at it, Jordan, he was dominant in a like you just felt it and see it. And I think a lot of these young people, because it like seeing highlights and seeing just the snapshot is still impressive enough, and you should get it off that.
Yeah,
But it's not the same as like when Jordan was playing a game, you really felt like he could single-handedly will his team to win in a certain way or just dominate and be and just conquer whatever was in front of him. And
exactly.
LeBron has had some of those moments. I'm not trying to say he's never had it, but you don't get that same sense, that same feeling. And even with other players, like people really were fearing Jordan. Like
He wanted to kill you every
people
night.
respect LeBron, but not as many people. I don't feel like a lot of the players fear him in that way. People really
Yeah,
fear Jordan,
Yep.
yeah.
and Jordan, man, like he,
Wouldn't even talk to John, trash talk John. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
right, in a
it's
certain
crazy.
way. So once again, LeBron is one of the best of all time
Hmm.
to me. He's had one of the greatest careers, and if he keeps it up, he might have the greatest kind of statistical
Hmm.
career over time, which
Yeah.
is still an impressive feat. But like I said, for me, you gotta put it all in perspective. So me, I respect LeBron, and I think what I just said is giving him respect.
Yeah.
I just know that for me, he's not the GOAT, and so yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll stop there for now. But
Tyrone, should I give my 2 cents?
The word goat and his name will never be in the same sentence in my I'm sorry, but congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers on a successful second half of the season. It was, the season was broken into two parts due to the pandemic. I'm not going to sit here and give excuses on this team and that team. They came into the situation the same way everybody else did, and they gelled together and won the championship. So I'm not going to hate on that one bit. He got his teammates there. He missed Avery Bradley, and like not saying that Avery Bradley was the missing link or anything, but he got those players together and they gelled at the right time and they played well and won the championship. Shout out to the Miami Heat too because nobody picked the Miami Heat to go to the finals. We were
Except for
we were
Jimmy.
we would. That's right. And he said it in the interview. He was like, why would I not think I'm going to the championship or winning? And they was Rachel Nichols or whoever was interviewing was looking at him like he was crazy. But he got there. So congratulate them. About I think he, with the whole I want my damn respect. When you win a championship, you gotta understand people feel they self. So he's on cloud nine and he's feeling like the man. He's the man right now because they won the championship. And it's like,
yeah,
yo, I'm
yeah,
on.
AD saying greatest of all time in his ear and all that. That's the
Oh,
thing.
that's what
But
he said.
yeah, AD was like when they was interviewing him after he
Rondo said
won
the
and
same
stuff.
thing
AD
Uh-huh.
was saying like greatest of all time, greatest of all time.
Oh
too. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. Young kids like to do that kind of
you got you
foolishness.
gotta you gotta understand, man. A lot of these guys, a lot of guys that I hear say he is, with the exception of Shannon Sharp and stuff like that. A lot of these guys are guys that grew up like this is their era. So you hear a lot of it, and it's this era, and it's their era. The whole "I want my damn respect" thing. I was saying that it's sometimes you're on that high because you won a championship, so you're like, what now? Like it's because a lot of people pick the Clippers, a lot of people pick this team
Milwaukee.
that like Milwaukee, the Rockets. They were saying even people saying the Rockets got a shot, the Trail Blazers. So it's like every round he heard someone say, oh, they got a shot to beat Lakers. And in fairness to him, he did say Rob Pelinka should get his respect. He brought all those names up before he said his own.
Yeah,
In my honest opinion, Rob Pelinka did do a good job signing players, but let's be real, he's not the real GM there. Like we all know, Rob Pelinka did not sit down in his office and said we're getting this player, we're getting that player. He consulted with LeBron, probably
Mm-hmm.
AD also, and they got together and came up with a roster of guys he may want to sign or try to sign.
Yep.
So let's not act like Rob Pelinka sat there and put the team together all by itself. So
Exactly.
whatever. Frank Vogel. Let's be real. LeBron James, Rajon Rondo, Jason Kidd, guys like that are the real coaches of that team. Like, you telling me I could have suited up and coached that team and they probably would have won the title. Let's not act like Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel, he did nothing before he went there. I'm not gonna give him no respect, to be honest with you.
I mean, you gotta give him a little.
Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever, man.
I agree.
Whatever you want to say, bro. If I had Anthony Davis and LeBron James on my team like that, I probably win a couple rings my damn self. Let's stop it. But then you get to him. And my confusion with him, because I thought it was just the high of winning titles, but it's a lot of times where he's slick. Like I always tell people, he's real slick with his mouth. And I think it has something to do with the number one spot. You know what that spot is, that G word with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has a lot to do with that. I think he's not satisfied with people calling him anything but that. Number one. Number two, he's very slick. He says things and he knows the media is gonna run with it. Like I heard, I don't know if it was last year or the beginning of this year, he was running around telling people that, oh, y'all want to say I'm washed up, and I was like, who says this guy's washed up? Like I remember the beginning of this year. Now everybody made excuses for him last year when he had the groin injury and he missed a month, and the Lakers didn't miss the postseason. They didn't just miss the postseason based on the groin injury, because he did come back from the groin injury and he was playing well, but the team still was bad. So everybody keeps bringing up the groin injury he had, but nobody called him washed up there. They kind of tanked it at the end, and then he sat out a few games at the end because they wasn't going nowhere. But I was hearing him say something about people saying he's washed up, and I was scratching my head like, who says that? Who's been saying that? So a lot of times he controls the narrative. He brings up these comments, these fake comments, and then people run with it. And because I'm still trying to figure out who said he washed up. Now, people may have said that his teams weren't the best team. That may be something I think, he could have came out and said. But I was hearing him say something about people say he washed up. That's not true. Even me, who's not a LeBron fan, would never say he's washed up. I said he's not the same, which is true, because the Miami Heat LeBron is the best LeBron that was out. So, he's not the same. He doesn't have the same explosiveness, but nobody was saying he was washed up. And this is a soft era. I'm sorry. Like, bro, like I was watching this guy. I think 40-year-olds could dominate in this era the way they're playing. I'm sorry. Like you can't touch nobody no more. You can't put a hand on them. You can't guard them. Like everything. Like when guys go up for a layup now, everybody just parts the sea now. And I'm not even talking about for LeBron. I'm talking about for everybody. And people they're either scared to get dunked on. Nobody wants to contest a shot. There's no bigs in the league anymore. So there's no fear, no intimidation in the paint. So whatever. Like everybody wants to talk about, oh, it is the 17th year. The way this league is right now, you could play about 25 years, man. Vince Carter was still playing, for goodness sake. Not saying that he was doing much, but Vince Carter was still playing. Come on now.
Y'all got a great. Okay, sorry, my fault.
No. I'm just saying, like, I just got confused by the whole give me my damn respect. It's like Stephen A said on First Take. Stephen A brought up all these names and how many players were in the history of the NBA, and he ranked them number 2. Not my ranking, but his ranking. And because, he was talking about Kendrick Perkins was upset and all that stuff. So he was like, I rank him second out of all these players that ever played. And everybody's still saying I'm a hater or this, that, and the third.
Yeah. And they talk about the Lake of Mount Rushmore.
Whatever. Mike, I'm gonna let you rock with it. I know we're gonna get more into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get more into the GOAT talk in a later day, because we really gotta really break this down. But to your point, man, first I want to congratulate the Lakers. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. I'm happy for those guys like AD and them to get that kind of monkey off their back, like the Dwight Howard, the Markieff Morris, and like Rondo to get his second ring. A lot of other guys on the team. I'm happy for them. Frank Vogel finally get a ring. Stuff like that. So I'm happy for those guys. You know what I mean? It is what it is. However, when it comes to this whole GOAT thing and LeBron talking about getting my respect, Melik, you sit in the head, Tyrone, everybody said the same thing. It's pretty much the fact that LeBron wants everybody to say that he is the GOAT. And I was saying this to
Yeah.
my boy Aubrey yesterday. I was like, look, man, like he's chasing a ghost. And I'm like, yes, statistically, he did his thing. He'd been in the league for this long. But like Tyrone said, like you've been playing since you was coming from out of high school. You've been playing for 17 years. So, of course, you're going to have it. And Malik said it earlier, too. Michael Jordan did all of those things, retiring in his prime, right? Came back at 40 again after he retired the second time and was still averaging 20 points. And if Michael Jordan never retired, played in this era, there's no fathom in my mind. There's no way that he would not be the top leading scorer and probably have way more championships. So, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't be talking about what ifs and stuff like that," but he was trending in that direction. And to me, look, man, you want to talk about calling yourself the GOAT? And I said this to him yesterday, my boy, and I was like, look, man, you can't say that you want to be considered the GOAT and be over Michael Jordan when you come in the league wearing his number because you was sweating Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like you came in the league wearing 23 because of Michael Jordan. It wasn't like they say you just picked the number and they gave it to you. You picked that number because you were a Michael Jordan fan. Same thing with Anthony Davis. So for them to say that to me is like you're already a step behind. And the fact that Malik said that fair Jordan, think about it like this, right? Everybody talk about Kareem because his name is up there. He's the number one leading scorer. He's been playing for like 20-some years. He's a big man. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people are always going to get big men. So it's like, for instance, if I go now and go to my old public school and I play basketball in a public school and because I'm big now and I'm dominating them sixth graders, fifth graders, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was the greatest player of all time. Like not trying to take that away from Kareem, but I'm trying to say he was a big man with an unguardable shot that nobody short could guard him. For Michael Jordan, right? For Michael Jordan to be a wing guy, right? And forget about they had great players in there. They had like nobody said, oh, Cousy was a greatest player of all time, or Oscar Robertson's greatest player of all time, or Bernard King, all them other cats. Nobody's saying that. Michael Jordan, who came in the late 80s, mid 80s, early 80s, late 90s, are saying he's the greatest of all time. Nobody said Magic was the greatest of all time. Bird was the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan is in that conversation. So for me, for him to be the litmus test, for instance, right? The point that everybody, the measuring stick that everybody has to measure people's accolades to, shows you how great and of how much GOATness Michael Jordan is. You know what I'm saying? And for him to be the guy who impacted basketball, I'm trying to say like he impacted basketball so much that we got people like Luka, we got people like Dirk, we got people like that to come to the league. Now look, LeBron is a great player and I respect the hell out of him. I think he's a tremendous athlete, a great player, and he's at the table. He is at the table, but he's not the head of the table. He's at the side of the table. That's it. So he has to accept that. So for me, this is just a issue of like the younger kids hating on Jordan because they figure, oh, Jordan wasn't that great because they never really experienced Michael Jordan and watched him play the game to his to his ability. And you have the older heads who see Michael Jordan, who actually played with Jordan and played a little bit with LeBron, know that nah, Mike was different. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron just had to just take that and eat it, man. You there. And the one thing that people make me mad, and I agree with Stephen A. Smith and everybody else, when the LeBron fans say that you're a hater because you're not putting him as a GOAT, that to me is ignorant. Because I have every right to say that Michael Jordan is the best, greatest player of all time because of I watched both of them play. I watched both of the guys. So for me to say that, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me otherwise. So it's sad, and I know he feel that way, but he got to get off his high horse. Look, you got your championship. Yeah, you've been there 10 times. Let's be real. The East was pretty weak. He was getting up there. And, you picked and choose who you wanted to play with. You set up your team. Michael Jordan didn't do nothing like that. Michael Jordan took less money for them to keep the guys he wanted to keep there. Build a team around him on that level, the old-fashioned way. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go pick, I want this guy to come here. I want this guy to play here. I want you to trade this number one pick to get it. He wasn't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? The rules were different back then. Michael Jordan was just locked in. I'm staying with you and I want to dominate. You know what I'm saying? So that alone already separates the two of them. So for me, Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT. There's no debate. I don't care how many more stats LeBron get. I don't care if LeBron win the next 4 years, he win a chip. It don't matter to me. He will not, statistically, he'll have some of the numbers. He will not be better than Michael Jordan. His impact, being the GOAT is more than stats. Is the way you played, how you played, what you did when you were playing, the impact that you have. That is what makes you a GOAT to me, in my opinion. And I don't see LeBron doing that. Like, granted, he's a great guy, great, humanitarian guy out there, very outspoken in this new day and age. Michael Jordan's picking up that mantle now a little bit. Now he feels more comfortable. He's a billionaire, so I give him respect when it's due. And LeBron is respected by a lot of people. His issue is that only a selective few cats are calling him the GOAT, and he mad about that. Stop trying to control the narrative. Stop trying to make things seem more difficult than what it is, and that's why people don't really be giving him his props, because he's like, yeah, man, for me to win this championship in this bubble without my family here, that gotta make me the GOAT. And that's the problem what people have. Like, what I'm saying?
That's what he said.
Say that, but I'm trying to say, like, a lot of people are alluding to that thing, like when he made the decision. You know what I mean? That was a big spectacle. This whole bubble thing. This is the hardest championship you ever get to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these different things. Like, everybody try to make it like, this guy defied all the odds. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the case to me. You won the championship. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Just hold your head. Let's see what you guys are going to do next year.
Exactly.
I'm saying, so to me, to each his own. You did your thing. Congratulations to the Lakers. I didn't even watch the game, to be honest with you. Not because I was hating. Malik, no, we was at my parents' house cleaning out the shed, and by the time I got home, like, it was like maybe the second or third quarter, and they was getting blown out anyway. I was like, they're gonna win. I'm not gonna watch the game.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, and that leads me to the next part of this whole conversation, where everybody was saying that the NBA lost a lot of ratings. Their rating went down to 70%, and they talk about removing the Black Lives Matter and making it as if because of Black Lives Matter, that's why people didn't watch the game. That's not why.
That's the main reason why that had nothing to do with it.
Exactly. The main reason why people didn't watch the NBA was because, first of all, you got football on, you had the baseballs about to wrap up and finish,
and it started in the middle of the summer.
Yep, started in the middle of the summer, and on top of that, the matchup. If it was like the Lakers versus the Bucks, people will watch it. It was the Lakers versus
or Lakers Celtics.
Yeah, Lakers Celtics, something that's intriguing. Yeah. Lakers Miami Heat. Yeah, the Miami Heat played well, but nobody really cared to watch that.
Nobody thought they were going to win.
You know what I mean? So nobody expected them to win. It's just like when people thought Golden State was always going to win, so they didn't even bother watching, especially when they saw every day Golden State versus Cavs. Nobody wanted to watch it. So it's the same concept. You know what I mean? Like,
go ahead. Another thing that hurt, not the Lakers not having the Clippers. That hurt.
So people were excited for matchups. The reason why, like, the first couple of games in the bubble when them seeding games was important, because they wanted to see Zion. They wanted to see the Zion do his thing, and everybody talking about Zion. You know what I'm saying? He ain't do nothing but eat. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, at the end of the day, that hurt the ratings a little bit. Then the matchups during the thing, like, fortunately, a lot of those games at the beginning was exciting. People coming back from 3-1, people playing well, Portland doing their thing, LeBron and them doing theirs, the Clippers did this, Luka, everybody was making it cool. You know what I'm saying? So it made it interesting. But once the stuff started to get down to the nitty-gritty, to like the semis and almost to the finals, people was like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I've got to go watch Kansas City play the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. Go ahead.
No, I was saying they didn't get that matchup. Clippers, Lakers, Celtics, Bucks. That was the four popular matchups. I think is what hurt the playoffs.
Yep, absolutely.
I think those two matchups right there is what hurt, especially that Lakers Clippers. When they saw Denver, it was like, because everybody knew the Lakers was not losing to Denver. Everybody knew that. Yeah. They knew that the Miami Heat wasn't beating the Lakers. We all knew that.
Yeah.
It was almost like when the Clippers lost, everybody's like, well, Lakers are gonna win the title.
Yeah, everybody said it.
It was a foregone conclusion. So that's why it's a joke to me when LeBron talks about his damn respect. Like, dude, you're a 4-time champion. Now, you won four finals MVPs, 3 with 3 different teams. That's not that serious to me. This whole 3 different teams thing.
Yeah.
It's not like he won the title with Charlotte, the Sacramento Kings, and the Indiana Pacers, the Cleveland one is impressive, but they acting like he won it with 2, like, some of the worst franchise. Like, you did it with the Lakers, you did it with the Heat. Now I give you the Cavalier one. I give you that one because they was a sorry franchise for years until the 90s. But come on now, you acting like you won these things with Charlotte and
not only that, is like the way
it's a different era too now, where people are going to new teams. Before, people really was about that franchise life and staying on teams for long periods of time.
Right.
So, like, imagine if Jordan was just like, yo, let's say when the Reinsdorf and them did what they did, and Jordan was like, all right, I'm gonna go play with the next two other superstars now that y'all don't want me to have Pippen and Rodman. Son, you think Jordan wouldn't
Yeah.
have still been
Like,
able to win
yo,
chips?
I'm
You
I'm
think
going to
Jordan still wouldn't have been able to? Like,
like, yo, I'm going to San Antonio. I'm playing with the
yeah,
Twin
exactly, or
Towers.
something like
Yeah,
that.
you know what I'm
You
saying?
Yeah.
know,
Like,
if
I'm
he could
going to
pick
Minnesota
and
play with
have
KG.
great
You know what
people with him and all that, come on,
Well,
forget about it.
that's the only time KG would have really got anything is if he'd have played with Mike.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. So like to Malik and y'all point, it's like to me, look, it looks impressive on paper. Like the man won it with Cleveland, he won it with Miami, and he won it with the Lakers. Like, look at your supporting cast though.
You had
You
to play with
had
a bunch
D
of
Wade
all-stars.
and
Yeah.
Bosh, right? Y'all won. Y'all got smoked the first time, and y'all won two, right? And y'all lost the others. Then you leave. You go back to Cleveland, right? You got raped the first time. Sorry for the term,
Wow. Whew.
right? Sorry. And then you get destroyed. Then you win the second one because some controversial things, but y'all won it anyway in
Oh, I
2016.
got something on that one right
Then you
there.
come back the following year, you get smoked again, right? And then you leave, you go to the Lakers, you pull your groin, you don't make it, and then you go and make it
Trade
this
the
year.
whole team.
So trade the whole squad to get Anthony Davis, and you got some good, decent pieces to pick up. So let's be honest. Like Michael Jordan was the man, right? He came in the ground and running just like LeBron. Michael Jordan stuck it out with his team, right? And he iron sharpened iron. He made those other guys better. Not saying that LeBron did not make the other teammates around him better. I'll give him that. But to say that LeBron was like in the GM office, LeBron was the GM. Like he has a great career after basketball to being a GM if he wants, because he's picking, choosing who he wants on his team.
Trade
He
everybody.
had
Get
that
this
luxury. You know what I'm saying? And to Tyron's point earlier, you're playing in an era where the physicality
Weakest.
is not the same. The
Weakest.
game is predicated on offense now, so they allow you to have games where you score 100 some points because they realize that people don't want to watch lockdown defensive games
They
where
don't want to see no
people,
76 to 80
yeah,
scores.
freaking
They
that's
don't
how
want
you
to
should
see
be back in the 90s.
they don't want to see a real man's game. That's the problem.
Man.
That's a
So
real
to,
man's game.
yeah,
And
so to
everybody
me,
flopping and
It's
all
not
this stuff.
it's
Yeah.
not it's not about the score and how much scoring you're doing. It's how hard the teams play to win, man. Like I'm cool with the running gun here and
yeah,
there, but I don't need to see guys just because everybody's just running back. Nobody's playing D. Everybody's just running back and everybody shoots a shot. There's no offensive rebounding no more. All the other five players just run back to the other court until that other team shoots. Then everybody run back this way. That's all you see now.
You barely see any blocking
Like
anymore
I
like
don't
that either.
watch. Nobody knows how to block out for rebounds. Like I was saying to one of the guys here at my job today, like, yo, like I hear people say what they say about Braun, but I heard there was a guy that wrote a comment on Bleacher Report that the Phoenix Suns from this year
Yeah.
would destroy Charles Barkley's Phoenix Suns that went to the finals. And I said, you don't even know what you're talking about. I said, don't let that bubble 8-0 record fool you. The Phoenix Suns have been a joke for years. Number one. I said, number two, don't let the athleticism fool you. You know, they're looking at the guys and, you know, the same thing. They say bigger, stronger, faster, blah, blah, blah. It means nothing if you don't have the skill set. And
exactly.
from what I've seen from this generation, a lot of these players' IQs are not really high. There's no fundamental. Like if I could sit and watch a game with people and just watch it and explain to them the game. Now, don't get me wrong. I played the game. I played for a long time. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not gonna put my age out there like that. I'm almost 40. So I grew up in the 90s and stuff like that, late 80s. I know how the game is played. I played the game. I wasn't a superstar or anything, but I could sit there and dissect games and plays and let you and show you the lack of IQ some of these basketball players have now compared to back in the day. Field goal percentage is down. A lot of things are down. You know, the scoring is high, but this whole 3-point thing.
The defense is down.
There's no defense. There's no defense.
Mm-hmm.
There's no big men.
No
I mean,
blocks, no nothing.
You call certain guys big men. There's certain guys that's big men. Like I'm talking about real big, traditional big men, like a Rudy Gobert, guys like that stay down below. This is the argument I had about Joel Embiid. Like this is why I was saying with Joel Embiid. It's Joel Embiid would dominate back in the day if he was to play that way.
Post up.
Yeah.
But you know, things, you know, I don't want to get too deep because I think I cut somebody. I don't remember who I cut off. I think it was
No,
Mike.
that's fine. I mean, yeah, we all talking about it. It's like you said.
Yeah, that's the issue I have. And I was laughing at him when he said that Phoenix Suns thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. I know a lot of people, and I hate to sound like the old guy in the room because, like you said, we don't want to divulge our age, but we pushing close to 40. And
I'm
at the
proud
end
of
of the
my
day,
age. I
no,
just
I'm
don't
not.
want to
I'm not
say it.
trying to say it like that. I
I
get what
just
you're
didn't want
saying.
to throw it out there, but I'm
No, no,
proud
no,
of
no,
my age.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
care.
no. I know what you're saying. But what I'm saying is this: in the
Yeah.
sense that, look, man, a lot of times, like, when we watch, like I was saying, like, we said this the other day in one of the podcasts. A lot of these younger players, they just think about who I can score on, how I'm gonna make it look pretty. They don't really think about the fundamentals, and that's why when BJ Armstrong many years ago came on, he was saying the reason why the triangle wasn't working in New York is because the guys lack fundamentals. And I was
Yep.
also having this conversation with Aubrey yesterday. I was like, look, man, the reason why I was trying to say a lot of teams like had issues because there's a lot of guys who don't know their role when they're on the team. Some guys get on the team, they all want to be the man, they want to be this guy, they don't want to take the back seat, they don't want to play. The reason why the Bulls teams were so successful because obviously they had Michael Jordan and they had Pippen, but they had everybody knew their role. Everybody knew their role in that team. The reason why the Clippers failed because people didn't really know their role and they had chemistry issues. The Lakers did okay because most people kind of knew their role, but it was still a little iffy here and there part. So what I'm trying to say, a lot of young players, everybody want to be known to be the nice guy. They want to be, I want to be like the LeBron. I want to be the nicest. I want to be the Mike. I want to be the Pippins. I want to be named amongst those players where everybody knows from generation to generation, right? But unfortunately, not everybody's going to be that way. And a lot of times, y'all don't have the IQ. So that's why people like Rondo, people like LeBron, other people, elite players can step out of that realm. And I put Rondo up there because of IQ, not to say that
No,
he's like,
Rondo has a high
that's
IQ.
what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Rondo's one of the smartest players I ever seen.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Because Rondo would know the other team playing like, "Yo, man, you're not the right spot. You're supposed to be over here." And that's kind of stuff you're getting in people's head. So what I'm trying to say is that because of those things, they are people who actually analyze and study the game, which is why they're so effective. A lot of players now they're not that effective because they just want to
Yes,
basic stuff.
exactly.
That's why yeah, you get a lot of points, but if you look at the way they got those points, it's not really an effective way of doing it. Where back in the day, basketball was more at its purest sense, where you had guys who was very highly skilled as well as very fundamentally sound, and that's why the games were more entertaining back then and more competitive. Whereas now, you get like a Lakers versus freaking Sacramento Kings, you already know the Lakers gonna smack them. And I don't get me wrong, back then you knew some teams gonna smack another team, but it's times some other teams, gave people the business, and that's why I respect Brooklyn so much because we did it. We was beating teams without our star players playing, and we was just playing solid basketball, playing hard. And now when we add KD and Kyrie, the sky's the
Ooh.
limit. Chips. You know what I'm saying?
I just got to get back to this Phoenix Sun thing. I mean, yeah, Devin Booker's a good player. DeAndre Ayton is a good player, but what have they ever done
Nothing.
so far in their careers?
Nothing.
You're gonna tell me Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, Charles Barkley? You're gonna tell me they're gonna beat those guys?
No way.
They're gonna beat those. Listen, Barkley would bang and Barkley used to play against all tall guys. Like Charles Barkley was 6'4". He was listed as 6'6", but he was 6'4", and he could bang with them all. You think Chuck wouldn't take them young boys down in the post and destroy them?
These guys need to go on YouTube and look
And
at these highlights.
and Dan Marley had that 30-foot range back in the day also. And let's not talk about Kevin Johnson. Man, like, I'm sorry to say this, but we all saw what he did to Elijah. We saw what he did to Keem. So I don't think
everybody's allowed one or two of those, right?
I'm not afraid of Ricky Rubio. If I was Kevin Johnson. Now Devin Booker's a bad boy. Don't get me wrong. Devin Booker's a bad boy.
Just knock him down and just give him a little hit. He'd be all right.
He hasn't had a one. He's no winner. Like I was so offended by that, and I'm not a Phoenix Sun fan. Like I was so offended. They think that every guy now is 6'3". I mean, they think everybody now is about 6'6", 250, and the guys back in the day was 6'2", 145 pounds. It's not really that way. Like Shaquille O'Neal played in our era, and he bigger than all these bad boys now. Patrick Ewing is bigger. David Robinson. You see how cut up David Robinson was. And don't let me talk about Akeem Olajuwon, who was a guard in a 7-foot body. I could bring up the bigs back in the day. You telling me somebody could stop Kareem? You telling me somebody gonna stop Olajuwon, Robinson, Ewing, O'Neal? I ain't even go that far back. We ain't even gonna do that. You think some of these boys right now is gonna challenge Dikembe Mutombo?
That's my point. That's what Aubrey and I was talking about yesterday. Because he's like, a lot of people don't really watch the game; they watch highlights, so they just don't understand. So if you don't understand your history, you're not going to be able to understand what we're talking about.
You have to study the history of the game, and you guys know me. You know how I am with my history and how much
Yeah.
knowledge I have of the game of basketball and baseball. And you know, you have to respect the history of the game before you could come and have a conversation with me. Like a lot of these young guys, they see what they seen about 5 to 10 years ago, and they think that's it. It's never been anything before that. When I was growing up, I studied Wilt, Dr. J, Rick Barry. You know, a lot of these, you bring these names up to some of these guys, they don't even know who you're talking about. They don't know who you're talking about. They Wilt, who? Bill Russell?
Well, and I'm telling you, and that's the point. So I mean, Aubrey and I was talking about it yesterday. He was like, yeah, a lot of times people don't understand. Like I was saying to them earlier, like you're gonna have people at different eras that can compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I believe like people like a KD can compete in any era because of his skill set. However, it won't be as easy as it is now. So that is the caveat. So a lot of times when people start to say these different things, like, yeah, a lot of the guys are coming out, they're kind of bigger, they're more athletic in a certain capacity, but it's the skill set there. No. And even Michael Jordan said in the Last Dance, and it kind of resonated with me. He said, look, man, the reason why he felt so upset, and it was a different challenge, you know, he liked to challenge himself. He's like, look, man, I lost a lot of my athletic ability to a certain extent, but the finesse, the fundamental, I was learning, I was mastering the game. So in his mind, he was becoming like a sage. So it's like he was one with basketball, and basketball was him. Like his body was just moving like freaking ultra instinct, where he was just making moves without having to think. You know what I'm saying? And
He was a genius. He was a genius.
So he realized, look, I can do that. So that's when he was in his 40s with tendonitis in both knees, he was still dropping 20 points a game because he knew how to manipulate the game and how to play the game to a certain capacity and knew his opponent. That's why he came back and schooling some of these young Charlotte Bobcat cats who came in there. So to me, when you hear these stories, how Mike beat OJ Mayo in a pickup game, that's like kind of like not too much. He was still relatively young. These other kids, Dan, when he was 50.
Let me tell you how great Mike is. Okay, when he played for the Washington Wizards, they said he was washed up, he was trash. He was averaging 23 points a game. When do you ever hear of a person being washed up averaging 23 points a game at 39, 40 years old?
Yeah, and I think he still had like 5 rebounds too, and like something like that. He dropped 50 in a game. Like
by the way, he held until Jamal Crawford did it in his last game last year with Phoenix before the 2019-20 in the 2019 season. He scored 50 points in the last game of the regular season, and he surpassed Mike's record as the oldest player to score 50 points.
I remember that game.
At 40.
And he was still playing 82 games
He played 82 games at the age of 40, averaging 20 a game. He made the All-Star game. Listen, you have to understand he was so great that they called 23 points a game. And then he scored, I think he scored exactly 20 in the first season with the Wizards. I think it was 22.9. And the second season, it was 20.0 even flat. They called that washed up. He was so great that they looked at that as washed up.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
That's why LeBron, you got your respect, but you will never be Michael Jordan. And to me, like I said, at least with Kobe came in there. He tried to I'm gonna one up Jordan. I'm gonna beat him with 24. I have 8. He tried to be different from Jordan, even though he walked like Mike, talked like Mike, tried to do everything like Mike. But Mike was a lot quicker. Mike was just a lot quicker with the game as far as Kobe was. But he rest in peace. My thing is that LeBron is a great player, but you'll never be better than Michael Jordan. And he has to understand that. And I feel that that's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying?
It bothers him. It bothers him. That's why he's saying what he says.
And you know what's funny? Mike let people. I had seen an interview with Michael Jordan on YouTube. He was like, "Yo, man, you know, I can't really say who's the greatest, you know, because
he's never done it.
I never played against this person. You can't say it because we all. It's like every generation paves the way for the next, and he's being humble. And he know. Don't get me wrong. I believe that Michael Jordan know he's the greatest player on the planet, but at the same time, he was like, "Look, man, I didn't come out and say that. People said that about me. LeBron said, "Look at me, guys. Ain't I great? I'm the king."
I read something where they say that he cringes anytime people call him the greatest of all time.
Like he said it in that interview with Amar Rashad.
He said it makes me cringe when somebody calls me the greatest of all time because I couldn't play
Against
You know, I didn't get to play. I didn't get to play Rick Barry, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, and all those guys.
Well,
guys that these young fellas nowadays don't even know who the hell they are.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna keep it a buck though. Michael Jordan will watch them guys anyway, but I understand what he's saying.
Like, you better believe it. Oh, you better believe it. That you better believe it.
He even said he'll take Kobe over LeBron if he had to pick.
Yeah,
but I picked Kobe over LeBron, and you guys know.
Me too.
You guys know. I always hated Kobe Bryant just for the fact that he tried to mimic Mike. You guys know it. So it wasn't. It wasn't a bandwagon. It's not, cause you know how everybody, you know, when a person passes away, they all of a sudden they think higher of them than before. I've always, even before his passing, thought that Kobe Bryant was better than LeBron James. I would pick, if my house is on the line, if I gotta bet the house, is on Michael Jordan. But if you're asking me to bet something and it's between Kobe and LeBron, I'm picking Kobe Bryant 10 times out of 10 over LeBron James. I'm sorry.
Me too.
Perfect example is Game 5. They go down to shot to win the game. He throws it to Danny Green, bro. Come on, Danny Green. Don't get me wrong. I'm a diehard Tar Heel fan. I love me some Danny Green. I watched him his whole college career into the NBA, but you got to take that shot.
Got death threats for him missing that shot. Like
that was crazy. Like him and his wife and girlfriend got death threats.
With him making that was a smart play. But I like what Dame said. Dame's like, yo, man, it was a smart play, but I would have shot it on both of their eggs.
Because Dame got that DNA. Dame. But listen, that's because Dame has that DNA in him. Dame has that he got that dog in him. Russell Westbrook got that. Kevin Durant got that. They not passing that ball. Kobe Bryant not passing that ball. Mike not passing that ball. Now, don't get me wrong. He passed the ball to Steve Kerr in the 97 finals. You know, Paxson, but I'm talking about for like a game winner. Because he didn't really pass John Paxson a game-winning shot. You know, he passed it to Paxson in 91.
A couple seconds left.
No, that was that play in Phoenix. I think Horace.
Yeah, I know.
Paxson.
I'm talking about when Paxson was hitting them threes and he was smoking.
Right, that was the LA Lakers. That was. But we talking about game winner. Mike taking that shot. It's just Steve Kerr that he gave it to.
Steve Kerr's like, please, can I just let me, please? You know, I think I can make it. And Mike's like, all right, man, I trust you, but you know, I'll stop you again if you don't. You missed that joint.
But
LeBron, practice got him ready. He said LeBron would have snuffed Danny Green. He wouldn't have missed that shot.
It just listen, man.
I mean,
it's not a compare. But I don't want to get too deep into this goat shot. This goat. Yeah. Let him. Yeah, go ahead.
This morning, I was watching First Take, and they was talking about who would they have on the Lakers of Mount Rushmore, and then Perkins was getting mad at Stephen A. and Max for not saying they have LeBron on them Laker Mount Rushmore.
He's only played 2 years there.
And that's a bother.
He has Kobe, Magic, Wilt, and Kareem and Shaq. Perkins got upset. I was just like,
what is wrong?
Shaq is not even on the Mount Rushmore, in my opinion. I'm not putting Shaq there.
They was just saying Lakers.
I'm putting Wilt, Kareem, Magic, and Kobe. I'm not putting Shaq
I guess
on it.
Shaq got 3 chips there.
No, I'm not putting him over Magic Johnson. Hell no.
No. They have Magic on it, but I think they put him over Wilt.
He put him over. He didn't put Wilt. He put Shaq instead of Wilt.
That's what I'm saying. He put him over Wilt. Wilt only got like 1 or 2 championships with the Lakers.
Right. Okay, but you could say Wilt over. You could say Shaq.
Wilt was already on his way out.
But I've always said Wilt is the second greatest player of all time. So I'm not taking Wilt off that. Wilt Chamberlain is the second greatest player of all time. But we'll get into that GOAT list one day. I don't want to, do that. But
even Kareem put LeBron on there.
Well, Kareem like LeBron because he respects LeBron as a man. Because they interviewed him on First Take today. He was like, LeBron's a great guy.
I don't know about Kareem because a couple of days ago I saw something where he was saying that he's not even on Bill Russell or Oscar Robertson level. So I don't know how he went from saying that to putting him on a Laker Mount Rushmore.
I don't really know. Think about it like this. The Lakers only have like a few guys who they can say are like the greatest Lakers of all time, and Kareem ain't gonna take his name off of that list.
You're not getting
Magic, Showtime off that list, and actually Kareem ain't getting none of them rings without Magic, right? And vice versa.
You wait till I break down my list, and I'll break down Kareem.
So my thing is,
I can't wait to do that episode.
You know what I mean? So my thing is
Which
like, I
one, the
get it.
top 10?
Shaq, I think
Yep,
Kobe
I'm a
definitely.
my
Because
top
Kobe
10.
is look, like when you think of LA, Kobe like one of the guys who stuck with his team. Kobe had a chance to jump ship and go somewhere else. He's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, but stick it out here. I'm be on the Lakers. I want to prove to everybody that I can win without Shaq. And he did it, right? And
Hey,
my thing is
Tough
this.
it out.
fellas, I'm
Yes.
gonna have to jet.
All right, man.
I'm
Yo,
gonna have to
thanks
jet.
for
Yeah.
All
too much
right,
after.
yo.
Y'all
But
take care, man.
what we definitely gonna get in this convo, we're gonna get Aubrey and all them on this, and we're gonna break this top 10 down because I cannot wait to do that episode.
Yes, that'll be fun.
But I'm gonna see y'all fellas, man.
Take it
All
easy.
right.
All right.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yeah, so like we were saying, it's like with the whole thing with like the Lakers joint, like you gotta look at it from that perspective. Kobe, he is when you think of the Lakers, there's certain people that you just think of. Like you think of Lakers, you think about Magic Johnson, you think about Kareem, you think about Kobe. Shaq, not so much because Shaq bounced around a lot. You know what I'm saying? But Shaq, when he was there, was there. But you think about those guys, so they have to be there. LeBron just got there. Now,
Yeah,
granted,
and
he
he could
brought that
possibly
chip there.
he could potentially leave it. You know how he does.
You know what I'm saying? He brought a chip there. That's great. Who knows if Anthony Davis going to stay? Because Anthony Davis is a free agent. He might decide, I got my chip, got that ring off my back. Let me go to Chicago, to my native town, you know what I mean, and play there. You don't know. So, like, a lot of these things to me is like, yes, it's a great thing. It's a great opportunity. But a lot of these young players, I just feel that they're too caught up and wanted to be the man and being pat on the shoulder and pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
It's
not
what they
saying
see
that.
on social media because that's all they see is LeBron stuff. LeBron. They don't
Look,
go on
look.
YouTube and look at the old stuff.
Now, don't get me wrong. I give LeBron
I
a
guess
lot of
it's not
credit.
in high definition.
And I
Yeah.
was saying this the other day, is like, he helped fill that gap when Jordan left. Because even though when Jordan left, and I had to explain this to all guys, like, yeah, Kobe and Shaq and them was there, but the NBA was still ratings was not that high. You had to understand that it was a culture shock when Michael Jordan left. That void was like, yo, there's no more Mike, and it's like, damn, son, it's like, what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like watching, like, and no disrespect to them, like watching like high school basketball, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you like, all right, it's cool, but what else is to watch? And then when LeBron came in, this young kid who everybody wanted him to draft him when he was like 16, 17 years old in high school, they made him that guy. You know what I mean? And not even nothing. Like, there was a guy named Lenny
They
Cook. Y'all
already
heard
call
about
him
his story.
King.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Lenny Cook was cooking LeBron. And like,
he
they
was
made
better
sure
than LeBron.
they made sure they didn't play him. So it's like, who knows what could have happened? You know what I mean? I know a lot of people talking about the same thing with Michael Jordan against Len Bias, whatever. Somebody else didn't get the chance to play against. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? The NBA is banking on these people. They know that LeBron is he's on his way out soon. They're hoping that Zion picks it up. That's why Zion is big. That's why they having all these commercials with Zion in it, and they rigged this thing to have the Pelicans play so Zion could probably have been in the playoffs because they need somebody to take over the mantle to carry it.
Somebody's going to draw the rating.
You need it. And it's sad because people like KD and them are nasty and they're nice, but they don't have that draw. They're not like that exciting freak factor. Like when you look at pictures of Zion when he's in high school, dunking on cats and doing 360 windmills and all the stuff like that, you want to see that. That's exciting. So I don't care about it. You know what I mean? I could care less about a Kyrie Irving cracking ankles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see something different, and that's what's going on. But y'all can go ahead, man. I mean, if anything else y'all want to talk about, we can talk about it. If not, we can.
Well,
I just hope that the Lakers, go ahead.
Nah, you go ahead because I was going to say something outside of this. So you go ahead.
I was going to say I just hope the Lakers, do something, for Vanessa Bryant and the family as a dedication since the fact they won a championship.
Yeah,
and we got to give props to Jeannie Buss for being the first female to win a championship like on her own, like being the owner, first female.
That's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
for sure.
I feel wish Magic would have stayed. He get his accolades too.
Yeah,
but
that would have been nice.
Yeah, this is what it is.
We all know Magic is Magic.
What you gonna say, Malik?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I wish Dak Prescott changing a little bit, but we're not gonna get into football. But I just wanted to say, wish him the best.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully he recovers, definitely. And because he's had a lot going on for him over these last couple years, and to see that happen, it was real sad. So I just hope he bounced back and he can play again. His brother, and I hope that the Cowboys do right by him.
They're not,
because they was playing with him anyway with his money and stuff before this, and it's just sad to see that happen. So I just wish him the best, and I hope he could bounce back from that.
You too, man.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Alex Smith for making his return after that brutal injury.
He was getting hit too. highlights
Yeah.
earlier today. He was getting caught, but he was moving. He looked like he was moving pretty well. Like, because I mean, I watched the videos with his injury, and he was looking like his foot had a little gimp, like a little flap into it, like he was like slapping his foot down because the tissue was gone. I was like, yo, how this gonna work, man? He gonna get hit, but he was moving pretty well, and I was happy for him to
I was
get those.
scared when they put him in the game. I was like, okay.
I mean, I'm happy for him. I do feel bad for Dwayne Haskins. That's what we already stated before. I mean, hopefully, things get better for him and he starts to really pick up on the game and get an opportunity again to play. And I'm not barring, I don't know anybody get no severe injuries or anything like that, but him to get another opportunity, that'd be great. But to Malik's point, man, Dak Prescott, I feel for him because a lot of times, like the Cowboys were playing around with the not signing him, and they didn't really feel that he was like the guy. And even though he was making like $30-something million this year, anyway, but for the franchise tag, it's like, yo, man, give the man the money he want. Like, he put in work for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And you can't blame him only for the reason why the Cowboys suck. The Cowboys suck because they got a new coach in there, they got a whole new offense they running. There's a lot of crap going on that not working.
And their
for them.
defense is not been weak this year too, especially.
You can't really blame the man for that.
What Jerry Jones going to do when he come back, because he's going to be a free agent. So let's see.
Jerry Jones, probably. Don't get me wrong. From what people have said, the Cowboys, ownership, Jerry Jones and them will do certain things for certain people. Like when Michael Irvin had his drug issue, he helped them out. But certain people had issues, he'll give them a chance. But at the end of the day, we already know it's business, and these football people and these businessmen, they don't really be caring about the individuals like that. And for them to hold out on Dak Prescott like that now, and for him to be hurt, be out 4 months, you don't even know how he's going to react after he comes back. Yeah, it's an ankle injury. They did surgery. It was successful, but you don't know how you're going to be the same because a lot of guys get hurt. Look what happened to Gordon Hayward. His joint got snapped up. He hasn't been the same. Fortunately for Karis LeVert, he had something similar to Gordon Hayward, but he just had a dislocated ankle. He didn't have a fracture and different things like that. He came back and dropped 50. So it all depends on the individual and how they heal and how they play. And it's unfortunate. And it really shows something might be going on with the Giants Stadium. They played in the Giants Stadium. He got hurt, right?
Yeah, there was. Well, no.
Was it Dallas?
No. They was in the Dallas. They was in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
They were in front of Dallas fans, I think. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was in freaking the Giants Stadium.
I know they were in Dallas.
Yeah, I thought it was in Giant Stadium because I thought it was yo, man, this turf is really something else. He's snapping it. I didn't see the play. I heard about it on Bleacher Report. I saw it, the notification. But
he planted weird and it started bending, and then the guy also
landed on him.
His legs hit into his leg after, and then it just his joint was turned the other way. It was. Yeah.
You can see Dak trying to hit it back in place.
In place after. Yeah, and it was.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Football sucks that injuries is part of the game, but it sucks. But
it's tough, man, because these cats be getting trucked, and it's they be getting hit, and it's it's a next man up mentality. At least with the NBA, you got some type of guaranteed money. Had a guy like Michael Redd back in the day. He was hurt, and he was still getting paid by Milwaukee, getting mad bread. And I'm not saying I understand it's a little bit of I'm losing money, but hey, man, this is a part of the business. We are partners. I'm here. If I'm a franchise guy and I'm playing for your team, I get hurt on a job, I got to get some workman's comp. You can't be telling me well, you know what I'm saying? You got $25 million for this year, and you have to play at least 6 games to get the full amount. So I'm sorry, you only get $5 million. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. And that's what them cats be doing in football. That's what we expecting them cats. They be doing that grimy stuff, man. But it is what it is. Malik, like you said, I really do hope he gets better. And my Yankees lost.
Speaking of that, yeah, man.
I
want to shout out to Garrett Cole, man. He put the team on his back, man. He tried, man.
They should let him play the whole freaking game. It's you got nothing to lose. It's all right, he hurt. Not even if he hurt. He pitched the game. Y'all make it to the next round. All right, he don't pitch the first game. Let Tanaka somebody else pitch. You don't play him. You take him out to 6. But we watch. That's what matters. But my thing is
what? So what?
Yeah.
I can enjoy this play.
That's tough.
My team lost, but I'm glad the Cubs and the Yankees going. Hate both of them teams.
It is what it is, man. I just get tired of that, man. I
had a lot of expectations for this year. After last year, Cole kind of put the nail in the coffin. We got him. Then, we started out sizzling. We was on a roll. Then we had the little dip. Then we had that next streak where we won 10 in a row. It's been peaks and valleys, right? Then they dipped toward the end of the season.
Yeah.
Then we played the Indians and we put in work. We was looking like we was going to make
we watched the Indians.
I mean, respect to them, but we definitely looked good against them, and we got past that. So I was hyped. And then, with the Rays, and I mean, it was competitive, but it just was
Chapman
unfortunate.
sucks
I
as
know
usual.
Chapman. I don't want to go that
I
far, even
hate
though
him.
he been pissing me off. He let us down again in a sense. But I
Yeah.
know
Can't
in the
stand him.
playoffs that happens. But I know closers, they usually good for that one solid inning. I know in the playoffs they can go further innings. Maybe it was just too much. But he just had some bad luck. He had some other decent games and other like earlier in the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
But or another thing with Stanton, at least I want to say at least he
Trash.
stepped up though some in
Mm.
the playoffs because in the regular season I was like, man, we paid this guy all this money. He was supposed to come in
All he do is get injured.
and
All he
show up,
does.
but in the playoffs this year he did step up for. He showed some signs of life. Like, all right, man. Like, so hopefully he can carry that on to next year. But I mean, in this past game, we got
Mhm.
our bats wasn't there for us, because even with the pitching and the Chapman thing
Yeah.
aside, they should have been able to get more runs. But I mean, it's unfortunate, but you know, the Yankees, we still got a team. We always gonna be competitive, and I mean, hopefully next
Y'all
year.
just regular season competitive. Your batters are just only for the regular season.
Nah,
The
it's been
playoffs
too
come, they
long, man.
So,
disappear.
Puff,
Too
can I
long.
ask you a question? When was the
2009,
last
I
time y'all
think,
won
was
the
the
chip?
last time
When the last
when
time
we
the Indians
had
won?
So what?
Johnny Damon
So
and all
what?
of them. But
So
Yeah.
what?
we need to win again.
Yeah,
It's
that's
been
all
too
y'all
long.
do.
I
Y'all
mean,
sign all
look,
these big name hitters and they do good in the regular season. When the
we
playoffs
was
come
killing the
around,
playoffs too.
is nothing.
I mean, look,
Not good, not well enough to go for all the way.
I mean, we for some bad luck, then Astros cheating and stuff like that and other stuff, we might have had that one,
But
man.
Tampa Bay look like they going all the way. Tampa Bay
They
look
they
like they
have
going
look,
all the
they
way.
have been surprising. Yeah, because they have
They
played
are
well as well.
killing
As
them.
much as the Yankees didn't fully live up to their potential, the Rays did play a good series and they've been playing well. So, and I just hope
And they
I
beat.
just don't
Yep.
want no Astros winning nothing. So, like, I just hope they take care of business and these other cats take care of business.
if the Astros make it, they should automatically be like, "Ah, you guys, even though y'all made it, y'all not going. The other team y'all be going because y'all cheated." That's how it should be. Because there's no way you're gonna reward
If they
cheaters. I
won
don't.
it this year, it's like what people gonna say now.
And I mean, look, like
Like what they gonna say now.
I can't, man. I mean, like sometimes I look at these things. I know we talked about this before, and then like the kind of street justice, but it's like you can't have a team that cheated and let them rock like that. It should have been a severe punishment. And like the same way you can go and take people's gold medal back and take all the Tour de France's from freaking what's his name again?
Lance
Lance
Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lance Armstrong. You should be able to
Armstrong.
go back and take all that championship stuff from them clowns. They can keep their rings because usually the rings is from the owner. Let them keep the ring, but the banner and the championship gone. That's it. They cheated. It's simple as that. You got to keep the integrity of the game. You can't be like, well, we don't want to mess up in the record book. We put an asterisk next to it to let you guys know that they did do something. Like, no, it's still not right. You know what I'm saying? You're a fighter, you get caught with steroids, no contest. It don't count. Even if you won, it don't count. Ask John Jones.
Because
You know what I'm
baseball
saying?
is.
Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Yeah, man. If y'all have anything else to say, I'm good, man.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys again for coming through. Actually, Malik and Hollister and Tyrone. I had to go back to work.
Sure.
Coming out to his job. Thank you guys for listening. I know this one we didn't put it up like how we usually do, like on a weekend, but hey, better late than never, right? Shout out to the Lakers again. Congratulations for winning the NBA championship. I'm looking forward to next season when it starts. I think they said it will start sometime in December. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see how KD and Kyrie and I'm going to mesh, and the new and improved Zion. Hopefully he's losing weight and all this good stuff like that. So I'm just looking forward to it. Basketball's like my favorite sport. We have a small little lull right now. I kind of basketballed out a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to give me a chance for me to miss it.
Mhm.
So let me just miss it a little bit and then get back into it. And like I said, Dak Prescott, speedy recovery, and all those who hurt, injured, everything like that. So thank you guys again for watching.
Well, Dak.
Yeah, man. Enjoy, listen, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. That greatly helps a lot. So please click that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment, let us know what you'd like for us to talk about in future episodes. The GOAT conversation.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. The GOAT conversation is coming. It's getting closer and closer now. The game is done, and it's the perfect time to talk. So hopefully maybe next episode or the episode after that we'll talk about that. But anyway, thank you guys again. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hand. Go vote. And take care and God bless.